We were all created by way of sound and electric. Sound is produced when something vibrates, and electricity is the flow of electric charge. We're talking about energy here. Your body is composed of energy producing particles, each of which is in constant motion. So, like everything and everyone else in the universe, you are vibrating and creating energy. All things in our universe are constantly in motion, vibrating. Even objects that appear to be stationary are in fact vibrating, oscillating, resonating at various frequencies. And ultimately, all matter is just vibration of various underlying fields. As such, at every scale, all of nature vibrates, and thus all of nature is sound and electric. Welcome to Back to the Basics, where you learn facts, hope you embrace it. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness. I'm fearless. Welcome to Back to the Basics, where you learn facts, hope you embrace it. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness. Watch, like, share, bring in. Many people don't realize that sound actually creates matter. Modern scientists will have you thinking that sound requires the presence of a medium in order to travel. And this is not entirely true. Just because we cannot see the wind does not mean it is not there. And likewise, just because we cannot hear the Big Bang does not mean that the sound was not there. Contact is reality. Everyone's creation story begins with sound. The Christian Bible says, "In the beginning was the Word," which is a sound. The Muslims' Quran says Allah commanded the universe to be by uttering the words kun fayakun, which is a sound. Modern scientists say that creation began with the Big Bang, another sound. And the ancient Egyptians, from which all creations came from, also says that the universe began with the source they call Hu, which was considered the personification of utterance, tones, vibration, and pulsation of existence, which again is sound. Rhythm is the secret in which sound is coming out of, and everything in the universe is a measure of movement in time, which is rhythm. Most of humans' problems come from not knowing that you and the universe are one. The physical world is but a reflection of infinite combinations of sound patterns, making everything a coagulation of sound waves. On a cosmic scale, there is evidence that primordial sound waves have left its imprint on the galaxy in the form of a cluster, which is basically geometric patterns. Likewise, in ancient Tamaray or Egypt, the ancient masters knew that there must be rhythm in order for a baby to be produced. When we look at the word pregnant, it literally means before birth. So, this is actually talking about the manipulation of genes before the actual birth, which takes place inside of the mother's laboratory or laboratory. When a man or a woman comes together, nuclear DNA comes from both parents in order to create someone. No one here was born by accident. There is continuous and consistent order in the birth process, just like the birth of the universe. Even the apparent mistakes and deformities are a part of the system of things. Like everything, life began with one thing in mind, and that is to be. And with this thought, a thing became, and impregnation began. By the will of the Nether Hu, the creative force of will, who gave rule to this side of the universe to the Nether Ray. And so cells and atoms, which you are one of, split into many things by a Ray's command. And such is the rule of life and energies. The Nether Kanum from clay fashioned or formed the flesh of mortals. You might be saying, what am I talking about? Well, this relates to the calendar of Dendera, from which the concept of the zodiac comes from, that is found in the temple of Hathor. For it was a physical representation of the clock of the woman's fertility system that dealt with her rhythm. As the wheel of life turned in the womb of the mother, and the breath of life enters each child, the disc of the Dendera spins for each person's appointed time for birth. In other words, in ancient times, the ancient masters took the astrology chart and placed it on the stomach of a pregnant woman and spun it. And wherever it stopped, or whatever sign is at the doorway of the womb, is what is conceived. Now, the wheel moves at different speeds for different people according to their rhythm. If it spins too fast, there was a premature birth. If it staggered too slowly, a baby goes longer than 9 months. And if everything is in order, the baby is born in 9 months. This is why the baby spins in the womb of his mother, because it is going through every sign of the Dendera, or what most call the zodiac calendar today. When that person is born, their zero time reference is set and locked to that point. So as the seasons come in and the solstice changes, that person's body goes through changes as well. And as your sign comes closer, you call it your birthday, because that was the day you were born. But keep in mind that you only have one birthday. Let me repeat this. You only have one birthday, for we are all born only once. So when a person turns, let's say, 21 years old, it is not their birthday. It is only the 21st year while here. It is a day of remembering when the clock of the Dendera spun and you were born. At that point, you set a new precedence on time, but that was the first day of your life. The first, then the first second, then the first moment, then the first minute, then the first hour of your life. And these are rhythms, because there's less time in a first than there is in a second. Follow? History is a record of his time, but we are prehistory, thus time for us starts from a first and not a second. Hope I didn't lose you. I'm Kev Ray, and this is Back to the Basic. Like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. Peace. Facts we stated. You wanna know something? Go back to basics. Mozart trapping was called the Matrix. The world civilized, yet it's hard to face it. So I spread truth, hope you embrace it.